The all-clear given after a high school shooting in Florida.
We do have the suspect in custody.
The student rushed to the hospital. President Biden updating America.
It's been a year of challenges, but it's also been a year of enormous progress.
To mark his first anniversary in office. And a self-proclaimed NFL fanatic at a playoff game.
He said, I'm going to do CPR and I'm an ER professional.
Coming to the aid of an opposing team's fan. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Julian Davis.
And I'm Zitlali Solache. Today's Thursday, January 20th, 2022.
From the South Florida Media Network's Biscayne-based studios in North Miami, this is SFMN Newsbreak.
A 16-year-old has been taken into custody after a shooting in Sanford, Florida. Police share that the victim was a student from Seminole High School.
The victim, Javon McIntyre, was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Police have the suspected shooter, Devarius Smith, into custody, but have not said if he was a student from the campus.
That person has been transported to the hospital, where currently right now there are non-life-threatening injuries. We do have the suspect in custody. We're currently interviewing that person at the time.
Police have not given any details about a possible motive to the shooting. However, no other students were hurt.
Another student of the murder investigation of former Haitian president was arrested yesterday. The suspect, Rodolphe Jar, was detained in Panama due to an arrest warrant he had set by U.S. federal agents. Jar is expected to have his first court hearing today in Miami. If he is found guilty, he is expected to face a maximum sentence of life in prison.
Today marks 1 year of the Biden presidency. CNN's Britt Conway's in D.C. this morning.
1 year ago today,
Office of President of the United States.
President Joe Biden took the oath of office.
It's been a year of challenges, but it's also been a year of enormous progress.
Of note, the $1.9 trillion American Rescue Plan to lessen the economic fallout from COVID-19 and the $1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure plan. But the challenges the president is talking about loom over his second year. COVID-19, inflation, the Ukraine-Russia crisis, lingering questions over the U.S. pullout from Afghanistan, not to mention the first-year priorities frozen in the Senate. Voting reform, the Build Back Better Act, gun restrictions, immigration reform, and police reform, dashing Biden's hope for bipartisanship. But he says he's looking to switch up his approach.
Number one, I'm going to get out of this place more often. I'm going to go out and talk to the public. Number two, I'm also going to be out there seeking the advice of experts outside, from academia to editorial writers to think tanks. And the third thing, I'm going to be deeply involved in these off-year elections.
He has a lot to prove in his second year, with the latest Gallup poll showing the president is only pulling in a 40% approval rating, his lowest to date. I'm Britt Conway reporting.
New images released by the U.S. Justice Department of right-wing extremist group the Oath Keepers prior to the U.S. Capitol attack. The video taken from a Virginia hotel shows the group wheeling bins and bags into a hotel room ahead of the attack. Authorities say that the bins contained weapons, ammunition, and other supplies for the group's quick reaction force.
Small businesses in South Florida are getting even smaller. The network's Nayari NG introduces you to a local group of micro salons.
These microsalons give first-time small business owners the opportunity to take their first step into expanding their businesses with minimum risk. For some of them, give the option of renting on a month-to-month basis with no annual commitment. Ariel said.
The salon suite experience is really good because nowadays with the small business owners, they get a chance to have their own little business and have an intimate kind of setting with their clients, and it's really good for time management and booking and keeping their schedules organized.
Mia Salon Suites, located at Pembroke Gardens, is an example of these micro salons.
My opinion about the micro salon is very, very good. That's a very good idea for the person that wanna begin their own salon and their own business. So the best in this part is about the hour. You can schedule the time about your your hours. That's very good. So for the new beginners, this is a very good idea to start in a small place and then to go to another place that maybe can you feel comfortable. In the inversionist, it's a very good idea to do this for the new beginners.
Nowadays, microsalons are good options for those who want to start their small businesses without the need of a large investment. Reporting here at Pembroke Pines, Nayari NG for South Florida Media Network.
The Heat taking on the Trailblazers last night.
That's still ahead, and so is his story.
He just started doing CPR on him and he got a pulse back, so.
A fan from another at an NFL playoff game. Newsbreak will be back in just 2 minutes.
To Sofia and Gabriel. Even though these old knees can't follow on your adventure to the forest today, these flowers represent my love. These stitches and threads join us together. And wherever you see a flower, a bird, a beautiful tree, know that my love is with you.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
COVID-19 has changed how we hang with our girls. Now it's time to take the first step that lets us get back to girls tripping instead of solo sipping. Before we can safely come together, we need the facts. As COVID-19 vaccines become available, you may have questions.
Should I get it? Is it safe? Should I wait?
It's smart to question. Now get the facts at getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision when vaccines are available to you.
Every day,
millions of people are connecting.
And even though we're overcoming obstacles,
watching each other's backs,
and banding together,
we should still make an effort.
To
get to know each other
on a deeper level. Father,
cosplayer,
mentor,
actor.
It's time we take a step forward.
Come together
and discover
how accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
Unexpected hero, a Cincinnati Bengals fan saved a Las Vegas Raiders fan's life before Sunday's game.
Moments before the Las Vegas Raiders and Cincinnati Bengals playoffs game, a medical emergency brings two rival fans closer together.
Noah Harsh and his granddad Ed Fernandez were excited to watch their team take on the Bengals at Paul Brown Stadium. But once they arrived, Fernandez collapsed to the ground. That's when a nurse and a Bengals fan, Jerry Mills, stepped in.
When I started CPR, another nurse from came up and she, opened his airway for me and everything. We started, CPR right away. God has a reason for everything. And for me to come all the way from Texas and to be walking up and see that, because there were a lot of people standing around at the time and nobody actually jumped down to check and see if he had a
78-year-old Ed Fernandez is still recovering at University of Cincinnati Medical Center and has heart surgery scheduled today.
The Miami Heat beat the Portland Trailblazers last night at the FTX Arena 104-92. Caleb Martin led all scorers with 26 points, following Jimmy Butler's ejection late in the second quarter for arguing. Without 40% of their scoring players, Bam Adebayo closed the game with big plays down the stretch. He finished the night with 20 points and 11 rebounds.
All the time we have for Newsbreak, I'm Zitlali Solate.
I'm Julian Davis. Get more news anytime at sfmn.fiu.com.